Hi everybody, it's Diane here with a folded up piece of paper, which means we're making a zine. It's printer paper, typing paper, copier paper, however you care to phrase that. You fold it in half and fold the halves up to the middle. Fold it the short way, cut it to the fold. There are a million and one tutorials on this on YouTube. Make it sort of like that, and then just fold it up. You can fold it up any way you want. I sort of like to have a fold as my first page, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that, doesn't matter if you don't know what I'm saying, because every other page then that's open, folded, open. Okay. For some reason, I just thought of those 50s McCall's needlework women and the snarky phrases as we did on a few of those iCads. I thought that might make a cute, funny zine. I cut a few women out. I'm going to start with her. I picked a phrase, and I did get a background scrap of paper here. That's as far as I have got. And I'm not sure if I want to go over, you know, I don't think on this one, but on any of them, I don't know. And I do not have enough images, so I have to get more or do a 2-page thing. Well, it's short. Do we want to make it evenly short? Do we want to make it short at the top? I'm thinking. Okay. Not bad. And since these are stickers, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to forget who's who if I'm not placing them. I'm going to make a note. Lady and her, I don't know, what did they call those back then? We'll just say a serape. I know that's not what that is. She gets the psychotic break. Okay. So what do we want to put next to her? And I imagine I'll add a, you know, flower stamping, something, doodads. Now, I don't think those go with her. That's kind of cute. Actually, this is sort of neat. This is a pattern for an apron, but it actually has scissors that are like attached on a cord or something, and then it's got another cording with spools of thread actually on it. You probably can't see that, but so it's your sewing apron. Don't we all have one of those? Well, we could put her up and do a border or something to sort of, that's not bad. Okay, what is she going to say? Yeah, this is the 4th set of these, and this is the only one I ever bought. Should grab another set, shouldn't I? I check my calendar. I won't care next week either. That's not bad. All right, we'll do that. This is going to get tricky, Diane. I know. I should probably just leave them on, shouldn't I? Yeah, okay. And I'll make a note. So the apron lady gets the, I check my calendar. Okay. Well, what kind of background does she want? Does she want some sewing related something or other? Maybe we could give her a tape measure to be, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, do that. Oh, you cut that way too big, Diane. Too long. I'm sorry. in that bottom. Oh, I could put pattern tissue behind her. That would be maybe nice. I was going to say before, though, I grabbed this tape measure. You know, because we do have words and stuff too, super busy is probably not a great idea, such as that. Oh, that would fit the whole thing. Okay, let's see. All right, that's good enough start for them. Okay, turning the page. Well, we have these two girls, ladies. There was one, I just read it. No one will ever be as entertained by us as us. That's not bad. Because she's watching the other woman knit. How entertaining. This is the wrong paper. Here it is. Okay. Two girls get entertained. Okay. You really read that scribbling, Diane? Yeah, I'll be able to read it. Don't worry. Do we want to cut it or let it lap over? I don't have an answer for that. Maybe this one could be a 2-page thing because it's sort of, well, I guess it's not super long. I was going to say that's kind of a long sentence. Nah. That's a weird, I mean, it's yellow, but it's, oh, it's like this yellow. I don't know, what would you call that? Dirty yellow doesn't sound too nice, but that's kind of what I would say. Yeah, you would say that, Diane. Well, that looks pretty darn good. I might even leave the white on that. Okay. This, and we have older woman talking to a younger girl, giving her some great advice, no doubt. Making sense just isn't your thing, is it? Think that's bad? Watch this. It's kind of funny. Darling, I was born crazy. That's good. Okay. She's crazy. So we'll say older girl. Okay. And then this woman, she has some money there that I did not cut around yet. I'm not sure I was going to use it on that side. And then, how did this go? Like this. Her hand was over here holding money. She looks happy. There was nothing about money on these things. Well, I don't have a shopping problem. You have a problem with my shopping. That's a little money related. You're going to read these with everyone, Diane? I guess. All right. She's the shopping lady. Boy, is she full of vim and vinegar here. All right. Money lady gets shopping. All right, and then there's still the back. Yeah, I don't know if I want to put one on the back too. I guess. Too bright for that. Nope. It's pretty. Why don't you make a book out of it, Diane? No. Oh, that's all right. Maybe that could go all the way across. Okay. Now what are you going to do with it? I don't know. Remember any of these? These are papers, not cardstock. That kind of goes with the value. Well, that really matches. Is that a good thing or not? Yeah. Okay. All right, maybe I'll just leave it with that at the moment. Okay. And then the back. I don't know. Is there one that sounds, you know, like a conclusion? That's the conclusion symbol. Sorry, I hung up on you. I didn't mean to answer. That's funny. Well, I don't see a concluding one. All right. Let's see if we can find another person. There were some men in these too. Should we include a guy? I don't know. Do they don't qualify for a lot of those phrases, I will say. You know what? This is the one I looked at for that iCAD. I'll give you a new one. Ah, this is old, 1950. That would be good for the psychotic break too, wouldn't it? Okay, well, maybe we should switch. We'll give her the psychotic break and that other woman a different one. I'll think about that. All right, well, since this is the back, often on zines I have done in the past, I do make the back a little less elaborate. I don't fill up the entire page, which doesn't mean I have to do that now. Well, that would be nice. But that would be easier, right? I may just do something like that. Okay, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna glue all this stuff that I can, and then we'll come back and probably, like I said, add flowers or something, stamping, ribbon, I don't know. Come back and find out. Okay, I'm back in varying stages of completion, which is messy because we have wet glue, I have papers between, nothing's trimmed off. Across my mind I had these old little mini calendars, and this is, I check my calendar, quote, kind of won't fit. Could we lap it over down here, trim it? Let's trim it up a bit. This is from 1958, which is a little newer than those pictures, but I think that's pretty good. And I don't really care what year it is anyway. I think it's cool that it's a little calendar. Okay, and now our, is the phrase going to fit? Zines are kind of small, Diane. Yeah, I know. Could even do that. That's fine. Like I said, is this going to fit? I check my calendar. I won't care next week either. No, that's not going to fit. Well, okay, should this be a 2 thing then? Since remember we took her phrase away from her, we could have it go across. The phrase I mean. I check my calendar, I won't care next week either. Or we could put the calendar over here because she doesn't have much going on. Let's do that. Let's live dangerously and glue that down. She's not glued down yet because that's not trimmed. I've learned my lesson not to do that. You hear howling wind? It's windy out there. Was raining off and on like all day. It's not raining now, but the wind is kind of howling, and the windows, I have them cracked open. How spooky. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'm going to wait though until I can put her in. All right, what was this phrase? Oh, that was the entertained by us. La la la, here we are. Well, what should we put with these girls that are so entertaining? I don't know. I did have a thought. Let's move on to this woman was the shopping quote, and I didn't put her down. I did trim the left side there so her hand would fit better. Since it's shopping and she's got money in her hands, maybe we could use some prices, how they have ads in the back. $1. If it's a little redundant with the, it's all on off-white. I do have some numbers that may have prices in with it too. I'm not sure. But let's just take one and see what we think. One, get it? Let's take one. Yeah, that's clever, Diane. I've had a very busy week. This is a Thursday, and it's not over yet. Dan, you're the only one of these glue people that kind of whine. Sorry. So I thought you could just scatter prices around. That's kind of cool. And of course I do have to leave room for the phrase, but I didn't want to glue her down in case we wanted something, like that or something. Okay. Well, you don't want to sit here and watch me look for numbers or prices. There's a 475. I'll take that, and then show you the back. It's a couple dollars, lots of dollars. $5 and $4 for pairs of shoes. Are you gonna start harping on prices, Diane? No, I'll stop. She's either harping or whining. Okay. And this one was Darling, I Was Born Crazy, right? That one, I almost thought maybe, you know, I have that one rubber stamp that's sort of like a, maybe that on there. This one, or this one. That's good. Okay, that's good. And then the back is, I think that's pretty much done. I might dot in pink dots or something like that. Don't you think that should be good? And I will say, I'm not sure how this is going to refold back up because we have this. I didn't think that if you really wanted to fold nicely, cut it. But then you have a seam showing. So, do you want a seam showing? Think about it. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my beagle was barking at something out the window. Anyway, I pulled that circle paper for that page right there. You know, I kind of thought more really like actual things, you know, flowers or whatever. But I don't know. The colors look kind of nice. Well, let's just grab one and see. You could kind of splash those around and under the phrase, right? I don't know, Diane, it's your picture. I sort of like that. Well, how about this orange? No, that'll leave a dumb pink one hanging there. All right, we'll take this orange. The way your mind works, Diane, I know. And maybe purple or blue. Well, there's purple. All right, I'll leave it at that for now. All right, and while I was kind of looking for that, I found my UFO paper, flying saucer paper. We wouldn't want that on the crazy lady page, would we? It could be funny. Oh, why the heck not? All right, gang. I think I'm going to finish it off with the exception of the front. And then we'll come back for more exciting discussion. Okay, hang on again. Okay, time to do the cover. As you can see, we have a title. You know, it is a zine. It's supposed to be like a mini magazine booklet. So I gave it a title. Number 1. I don't know if I'll ever do any other ones, but why not? And then I had, you know, initially thought of putting a woman or something here, but I don't know. I had washi tape out because I had used some on one of the pages. And I thought, well, what would just a roll of washi tape look like? And you won't see this for a couple weeks after Easter, but Easter is coming up. I don't know, it's kind of funny, different. Doesn't really make sense. Well, something more generic. Like, I mean, this is kind of dumb, but this should be for summer, right? Horses. Well, you know what? Easter's coming up. I'm going to do this. On your Snark report cover, you can do something other than rabbits. Edge of this tape is not sticky at all there. And then if I do subsequent ones, which I'm not really planning on, but if I do, we can add a different washi. Okay, I need to trim the edges. I think I'm going to leave it. You could do a black line around. Should we? You could do a black line around this. You could do a line and make it look like barbed wire. You know, because it's snarky. Yeah, okay, Diane, we got it. Well, all right. You know, nice and clean and no line, no border is nice too. Probably looks a little more professional, like a real snark report, because they're real, right? We're getting the Beagle report in the background. All right. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. You may want to make a double line. That does make the unevenness look more intentional, but I think I'm just going to use a single line. Okay, so here's our snark report number 1. Worked out fine. I added some rubber stamping, butterflies on this side. Oh, here's the washi tape. This paper does end here, which I was okay, but since all this, you know, lettering and everything was down here, it did make that look a little more blank, so I put the washi up there. Okay, this one. Yeah, that old paper cracked in the middle. Who saw that coming? I didn't. If that really bugs you, if something like that happens to you, you could match this color with paint and paint in there and you would see the line. For what this is, I'm not going to worry about it. I did go around the stickers on this one. It's marker, which if you do marker paint, anything like that, the nice thing about these is, you know, they open. You can stick something under there so it won't seep through, which, you know, marker isn't too bad, but better safe than sorry, right? This one's kind of fun. Added rubber stamping, little stars with that same pen. Not too many price tags, there's not a lot of room there. She's happy about her shopping. And then the back, I did sign it. I signed my zines. It's the rubber stamps. I put a little marker in the center. Okay. Well, this was fun. Different. If you have snarky phrases, maybe do something with them. And you've seen this before, but just in case you knew, that's what it is. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a nice snarkless day.